You're listening to the Night Demon Network. Go to nightdemon.net/subscriber to unlock more exclusive content.
Hello and welcome to the Night Demon Heavy Metal Podcast. I'm your host Nesbit, and after playing a few festivals in North America, Night Demon heads to Switzerland with Cirith Ungol. This is Night Demon on the road.
Basel, Switzerland. So this show was a first of a handful of shows that we were going to do with Cirith Ungol as part of a small European tour, I guess you could call it. Yeah, the guys were really stoked to do these shows, and starting out in Basel, I had never been there before. I don't think Night Demon ever played there. We've played a bunch of places in Switzerland, but never Basel. So, leading up to that, we took off from the States on, I think it was September 11th. Oh yeah, of course, as we've done in the past, we just happened to decide to fly on September 11th. I guess it's a good day to fly, because what are the odds of something happening again on the same day? They're probably pretty high, so I think it's pretty safe. And it was. So September 11th, arriving in Frankfurt on the 12th. Now the plan here was everybody was going to get picked up by Nicholas with his van and go to his town for the day, for the night, and then drive over to Switzerland. To Basel, since he lives, maybe 2 or 3 hours away from Switzerland. But I did my own thing with my girlfriend. We decided to go out there, and instead of going with them, we jumped on a train from Frankfurt and took it all the way into Basel.
So Switzerland, this was my personal first time in Switzerland. And I remember the drive. Yeah, we drove to this one. We flew in and met up in Germany. That's where our hub is, where all our gear lives and everything, and the trailer that we take and the van and everything. And Nicholas, our faithful ally, drove us to Switzerland. Now, this was one hell of a drive. Something about Europe is that they're not so car-oriented as they are in the United States. So what seems like it should be an easier, short drive takes a lot longer. But this was a very scenic drive. We saw a lot of beautiful sights on this one, including the Swiss Alps. That was my first time seeing them, and I like driving as opposed to flying sometimes, or most of the time. I don't like flying very much, but when I am awake in the van, you do see a lot more. So for that reason, I do like driving to gigs more.
So that was cool. We got there the night of the 12th and met up with our good buddy Stephan, who is a big fan and a good friend of the bands, both bands. He's been to Ventura multiple times for Frost and Fire and followed us around all over Europe and stuff, and he lives there. So
my name is Stephan Bachman. I'm Swiss, 51 years old, metalhead since more than 35 years, fan, long-time supporter, and friend of Night Demon for many years. I've seen more than 20 shows all over the world, in the US and also in several European countries. The majority of the shows I've seen outside of Switzerland. So this time in September of last year, Night Demon actually played for the first time in my home city.
we met up with him, went to his place, had a killer dinner that night, and then got some rest. And then the next day, got up in the morning and did some sightseeing. There's some pretty cool stuff in that town. There's a beautiful river. I think it's it's the Rhine River, which runs through Germany. It's a pretty famous river.
Basel has around 200,000 inhabitants and is located in the northwest of Switzerland in the triangle with Germany and France. This fact actually makes the city attractive to organize concerts, since many fans from Germany and France might attend as well. For the Night Demon and Cirith Ungol show that we are talking about, last September, my friend Sven traveled even from Berlin to Basel to attend the show. In general, the city is called the cultural capital of Switzerland. Basel is a very old city, and based on the fact that Switzerland was not involved in any modern war, the old part of the city is still very well preserved. So it's worth visiting when you're in the area. And yeah, you can combine sightseeing and maybe even combining it with a Night Demon show.
I remember climbing this tower in the middle of town, which was like fucking crazy. The stairs were so steep, and a lot of them went in a circle. It was like this really thin tower, but we got all the way to the top and the views were just epic. So that was the intro to getting into Basel, Switzerland.
We got to the club in Basel, Switzerland, and it was
cool.
very cool place, right? Kind of had this old, like, retro kind of vibe. It was like,
Yeah, with the big space age Winston lounge.
it was like, what's that style? Like Art Deco? Would that be?
Yeah, it would be.
It looked like something from Metropolis.
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah, right.
The Sudhaus, which I guess translates into brew house or something like that. This venue was in an old brewery, and it was converted over.
The venue called Sudhaus is really a beauty. I mean, as the German name suggests, it's the old brew house of a former brewery. Actually, the brewing equipment in the main room has been removed, but all the rest is still original from the time in the late 19th century, where actually this became the brew house of a brewery called Wartek. The beer still exists, is brewed by somebody else, but the brewery per se is not existing anymore, but the building is still there, and it's used now as a concert location. The venue really has a nice atmosphere, and I never heard anybody complain about the beauty of this location.
But lots of really sort of slick tile everywhere, and kind of nice curved surfaces, and nice kind of brass and stuff. I don't know, it was cool.
Yeah, it was super cool.
One thing that was pretty unique about this building this venue inside is that there was a freaking smoking section that had a huge logo, like a lighted logo on top of it, of Campari, the liqueur that's Italian, that's made, used for certain drinks, and it's like a bitter orange kind of drink, and kind of a big bubble window. Like this whole room was a just giant window that you could stand in there and watch the show, because it was above the crowd, kind of towards the back of the venue, but this main front window, bubbled window, we're talking probably 15 feet wide or something like that, had a perfect view of the stage. So I mean, if you wanted to stay in there and just smoke your guts out and still watch the show, you could.
Promoter was super awesome. It was like playing for one of these like metal kids that like just, you know, isn't a guy who promotes shows all the time, but just does it right and does it when it counts, you know.
Yeah.
The local organizers of the show are actually a heavy metal club from Basel called Basilisk Destroyers. They're quite famous for organizing underground heavy metal gigs in Basel for a couple of years now. And these gigs are usually all very well organized. They always have a nice lineup. And yeah, what I really like on these guys is they don't do these concert organizations for the sake of earning money. Yeah, they do it for the love of heavy metal. And there's a lot of blood, sweat, and I guess sometimes also tears in the organization of these events. And they're really doing an excellent job. And so they had two support bands beside Night Demon and Cirith Ungol playing. One was Carrigan. They played the second gig actually. It's a band from Freiburg in Germany, which is just 40 miles north of Basel, so you can call them kind of local here. And yeah, they actually played a pretty good gig for their second show. And Stallion, right? I mean, that's an awesome live band that always kicks ass. There is no compromise, full speed, no prisoners, straight ahead, and that's what they did on that evening as well. So,
opening bands, we had Stallion and Kerrigan. Stallion is some friends we've played with Night Demon many times before. Great dudes.
The show was great. It was fucking packed in there.
You know, we had a couple weeks off, I guess, since the Madison thing. So, you know, we didn't rehearse or anything, but I remember feeling like we were still pretty well oiled, as we seem to be all the time.
the upcoming Night Demon show was for sure the best one I ever seen in Switzerland so far. But now today the house was full, and the crowd was hungry. The band was hungry, and then the stuff just exploded, you know.
Outsider, solitary is the path you rode. Outsider, solitary is the path you rode. Outsider, hoping to return where you belong. Familiar yet they seem so strange. Is it them or you
the Night Demon set felt really, really good. Outsider, Screams in the Night, Escape from Beyond, Dawn Rider, The Howling Man, Beyond the Grave, The Wrath, Welcome to the Night, The Chalice, Night Demon. So a 10-song set that had a pretty good mix. And yeah, it just felt really good.
Welcome to the Night, it's blacked out for the sample that plays at the start, so I had to be there at the desk to keep it blacked out and then start some lights whenever they were supposed to kick in, basically. So I had to have the house lighting guy there, and I was kind of shouting in his ear like, I'm gonna leave in a minute and I need you to take over, and trying to make that clear and also keep the lights going. And you know, the place was rammed, it was really, really packed. So I stayed for that bit of Welcome to the Night. The second I could pass it over, I said, "You're up!" And I pushed my way through the crowd, and it was really hard to get through. And before the show, I was playing Rocky that night. There was no one else that was up for doing it. I had laid out all this stuff because it's quite dark back there too, you know, but I made sure it's all like in proper order and stuff. I had checked the eyeballs, so you gotta check the batteries, screw those in, make sure that they're ready to go. And I got the costume sort of half on, I think, and I'm like putting the eyeballs on, and only one eyeball would come on. So I'm like panicking, and I think then you need to put on a long sleeve underneath the robe, because otherwise like skin's going to show and it just looks a bit crap. I think I didn't have a long sleeve on, so my shoulder was definitely showing, and I think I completely forgot to put the hood on as well, so it was just Rocky's big baldy skull. Because I think at one point, like, we're on the stage and the challenge is happening, and you were like, you forgot the hood, or your eye is out or something, and I was like, like looking at him like, yeah.
Please allow me to introduce myself. I'm the devil wearing white. Come with me and take my hand. I'll lead you to the promised land. Drink from the chalice, the unholy grail. Drink from the chalice, I'll give you everlasting life. Don't be afraid of temptation. Tis the evil that makes us grow. Don't you stray away from me. Oh yeah. Before your hopes begin to sow. Oh, drink from the chalice, the unholy grail. Drink from the chalice, I'll give you everlasting life. Now that you know who I am, don't try to run and hide, 'cause we made a deal in blood. The darkness to be denied. Drink from the chalice, the unholy grail. Drink from the chalice, I'll give you everlasting life. Switzerland! Are you motherfuckers feeling good tonight? That's fucking right. Thank you guys so very fucking much.
Yeah, it sucks nights like that where like you literally don't have time, you just don't have time to do all the things, and even the precautions that you take, like, everything was laid out, it was tested, it was, as it should be. But it just happens sometimes when, you're doing double duty, triple duty,
I mean, shit happens all the time,
Yeah.
So sorry I get so mad at you. No, I know. It's like you want to be perfect. Sometimes shit is like overlooked. Simple stuff too, But yeah, I don't know. It was a great night.
It was, yeah.
It really was.
It really was.
Cirith Ungol's set went off pretty good. and our set went off pretty good, I think. Good turnout, cool people, good crowd. I'd say it was a good show.
So yeah, I mean, playing with Cirith Ungol and Night Demon can get a little tiring sometimes. I'm pretty sure we did a 45-minute set with Night Demon. And, you know, the nice thing about it is being really warmed up, you know, when it's time to do the Ungol stuff. And for me, that's a great thing because, you know, there's a lot more soloing and, you know, guitar playing, I guess. No, just more soloing than with Night Demon. Songs are longer. There's some more intricate solo parts. So basically, I just kind of, you know, leave the stage, kind of dry up a bit. I'll change my outfit usually, change a shirt or something, and get some water going, drink a beer, maybe go over a few licks that I need to refresh myself on, and before you know it, it's time to get back on the stage.
Anyway, this place had a really nice backstage, actually. We had a proper green room. They had some really nice, expensive cheeses for us, too, I think. That was appreciated. That's another plus of Europe, is their cheeses are really fucking good.
We probably had about a 30-minute changeover. The main thing that takes the longest is getting Rob set up because, you know, obviously the guitar cabs and the bass gear is all staying from the Night Demon set, so that doesn't change at all. So it's just setting up Rob's drums. You know, Brian gets in there with him and gives him a hand, measuring everything because Rob likes to have precise measurements of the heights of certain drums and cymbals and angles, and you know, he's very particular with that kind of stuff. So it can take some time. So we always need somebody to help him out.
I had to set the drums up for Rob because this was a Cirith Ungol and Night Demon show. It's just tough doing that sometimes, like, right after you play. That's the caveat to working for, you know, when you play for one band and then you tech for the other one that's right after you. It's like you don't get a second to cool down. You just get off stage and then you start immediately. You have to go tear your stuff down, put his stuff up, and rebuild to how he likes it. But it's close enough to where I play, how I play, so it's not this huge undertaking, really. He's got one more cymbal that we have to put up, and like I said, I know where his stuff goes, so that helps. You know, when you tech for somebody long enough, you get accustomed and you can pretty much tell what they'll like and what they won't like. Though Rob is extremely particular in how he sets his drums up, so it takes a special kind of attention to detail sometimes. But, you know, that's my job.
Another double duty night, which is always a little tough for us, but the Ungol show went really good too. I felt really good. The crowd was amazing.
yeah, the Cirith Ungol set was pretty epic, man. Crowd, I remember the crowd being super loud, singing along. I mean, they really knew the stuff. And again, it was just another one of those times where, you know, I just felt really good about the reaction and playing those songs and, you know, playing them right and doing them justice because, you know, they're legendary songs and, you know, most of the stuff, you know, is written, you know, the solo is written by Jerry, and it's like paying a tribute to his great style and great playing. It's always an honor for me to do that and do it right.
But the crowd was amazing. The band performed an excellent set, very well balanced between the classics, newer songs, and also brand new ones from the current album. And yeah, the atmosphere was magic. In the interest of the musical quality, this is the best band performance that you can get. Musically, this is top notch. I mean, what Armand and Jarvis are bringing into the band, yeah, it's just musical quality and excellence.
Master of the pit, the power of chaos alone.
The Cirith Ungol set list was Atom Smasher. Okay, there I go with it again. Atom Smasher. I'm Alive, Sailor on the Seas of Fate, Blood and Iron, Chaos Descends, Frost and Fire, Black Machine, Looking Glass, Forever Black, Master of the Pit, King of the Dead, Down Below, Paradise Lost, Join the Legion. Kind of similar to the Madison set. It's switched around a bit, but that's kind of, most of these songs are what we were kind of playing on this European kind of run, or like the later half of 24, for Cirith Ungol. Yeah, it was a great night. Our buddy Ian Christie came, who's an awesome author. He's got a publishing house that's published a lot of great metal books, and he wrote the book Sound of the Beast. What else? He's got a Sirius XM show, which is really good. So it's cool that he was there. And yeah, it's good to play with the guys in Stallion again. They're an awesome German heavy metal band that we've known since the first time we went out there. But yeah, it was really good times. After the show, we just hung out. We went to get some pizza or whatever, right? And everybody...
Yeah, we went for a big dander through town.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, and as far as post-show goes, well, I mean, nothing I can remember besides hanging out, having some beers with everybody.
The after show. I had quite some beer already, but we were starving, so we left the venue to get some food, and we then moved to a place called Irrsinn. So this is a heavy metal bar in Basel, which is also connected somehow to the Sudhaus. So they are co-owned or co-organized. That's where the official after-show party also took place. And there, a few drinks later, I honestly had to give in, call it a day. And but the original members of Cirith Ungol, so Rob and Tim, were still going strong. So I left them there, explaining them quickly where the direct way to their hotel lies. So just moving a few hundred meters actually straight ahead. It was pretty easy to find. So explaining them how to get to their hotel, and actually telling them that we will meet in a week in Hamburg for the Death Forever Bash again. I just can say only say thanks to all the bands, but primarily also to Night Demon and Cirith Ungol for perfect evening. Nice interaction as always, fan friendly all the time, and until the next time.
So after Switzerland, headed to Italy. We had a day off. Nice, amazing fucking drive through the Alps.
Well, that's it for this week in Switzerland. Next week, we pick it up with Night Demon heading to Italy to play the Metal Italia Festival. As always, I'll remind you to check out the subscriber section on nightdemon.net, where you can listen to live, full audio of almost every show we cover on this podcast. So check out nightdemon.net for more info on how you can become a subscriber and access the huge, giant archive of bonus content. Until next time, this is Nesbitt signing off.
Dankeschön, Basel! We'll see you next time. Good night.
Thanks for listening to the Night Demon Heavy Metal Podcast. Head over to nightdemon.net, click on the subscriber tab, and sign up to access exclusive weekly bonus content. If you would like to donate to support the Night Demon Heavy Metal Podcast, you can do so through PayPal at paypal.me/nightdemonmetal. Additionally, if you have not already done so, please subscribe, like, rate, and review the show on iTunes or wherever you listen to podcasts.
All hail, Night Demon Heavy Metal Podcast listeners. This is Dusty Squires chiming in to tell you about my brand new signature sticks from the London Drumstick Company. I've dreamt of having my very own drumsticks ever since I was a wee lad, and LDC made that a possibility for me. Founded in 2016 in London, England, the birthplace of heavy metal, the London Drumstick Company has trailblazed a path through the music industry and taken the drummer world by storm. When I met them for the first time, they knew their product was going to withstand the beatings of a Night Demon show. They took the time to work with me on getting everything just right. The balance and weight of my sticks are the same no matter what, and the durability is bar none the best I've ever had. I know my sticks will last through the set night after night. I'm truly honored to work with a company that caters to their players the way LDC does. Their innovation and attention to detail is what separates them from the rest of the stick makers out there. Their custom stick sleeves are unbelievable and really make the entire presentation complete. Wait until you see the design they came up with for me. It blew my mind and was a surprise to say the least. They have all kinds of amazing swag, including hoodies, t-shirts, drummer shorts, drum keys, stick bags, towels, face masks, practice pads, and much, much more. Even if you're not a drummer, you can be a part of Demon history and order my brand new signature sticks direct from their website. How cool is that? And to top it off, the London Drumstick Company are giving an exclusive offer to the Night Demon Heavy Metal Podcast listeners. Go to londondrumsticks.co.uk and receive a 15% store-wide discount using promo code DEMONSTICKS. All capital letters, no spaces, Demon Sticks. DEMONSTICKS. I can't thank everyone there enough for the opportunity to be a part of their family and for them trusting me with their amazing products. See you metal maniacs on the road very soon. And yes, the wood chips will be flying.
Greetings, boils and ghouls. This is your comrade, the Crypt Keeper here, reporting dead from the sanctuary of the strange. Tonight's macabre myth is a fright-filled feature, one overflowing with monsters, madness, and magic.
Visit our website at monstersmadnessandmagic.com to stay up to date on all the dark dealings within the sanctuary of the strange. Enjoy the show.
Hey metalheads, I'm Mark and I host Metal Forge. Let me tell you about the show. The Metal Forge features the best underground metal from all over the world. We spend every week with a different artist with interviews, in-depth conversations, and most of all, the music. We also feature audience interactivity where you can submit your questions to the upcoming guests. New episodes are out every Friday at noon Eastern Time at metalforgeradio.com or wherever you listen to your podcasts.
Want to know what's going on in the world of music? Then tune in to the Nothing Shocking Podcast, a non-genre based, all ages friendly rock and roll program. Join us weekly for interviews with all your favorite rock stars from the mainstream to the underground. You can find us at nothingshocking.libsyn.com or anywhere you download podcasts.
Okay, metalheads, you've been complaining that there has not been a channel that plays all of the heavy metal videos from past, present, and future for years and years at this point. Well, that time is over. Heavy Metal Television is back. HeavyMetalTelevision.net is the website. Go there. You can see videos playing 24/7, 365, all the time, all the best from the old school, the new school, and everything in between. Check it out, HeavyMetalTelevision.net. It is where the metal is.